Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sonny here. And sorry I'm a little late for this first episode. Things happen. Anyways, I wanted to get this out before the episode 2 comes out in a few days. So hopefully I'll get that one fairly soon after Easter. But we're dealing with this one. And we got a really good opening. It starts, let me see, 17 years ago. Teenage couple, Alan and Belinda, staring up at the stars. Oh. Well, he gives her a certificate saying that that star there has been named after her. It is her star. She's less than impressed, but, you know, she says it's great, love it. 17 years later, she is working as a nurse in a hospital. And she gets home when these robots show up, breaking into her house. And this is seen by Mrs. Flood. Remember her? And a doctor shows up. Apparently, he'd been aware of this. And he sees her being abducted, so he tries to follow. Now, the robots are calling Belinda Queen. And they grab the certificate she had framed up on a wall as a keepsake. You know, that's proof. She's queen. This is her planet, Planet Belinda, where they're from. And they're taking her. And in a fit of anger, she blurts out, "Why are they after me? They should take Alan. He's the one who started this whole mess." Well, at that moment, there's a fluctuation. The doctor notices it. And he says, "Oh, that is a problem. That complicates things." Well, Belinda arrives on the planet. She is welcomed by a human who explains that at one point the robots and humans lived in harmony, but now they are their overlords. And they take her into the throne room, and they put her on the throne, and guess who's among the entourage? It's the doctor. He's the historian there. And turns out that the AI generator had commanded them to bring her there so that they can be married. And in the process, she will be converted over into machine. At this point, the doctor, who's the historian, comes up to her and he starts to explain about the robots. And then she notices every seventh word doesn't quite match what he's saying. The robots can't understand every seventh word. He's speaking to her in code, and so she starts speaking back. And at a specific point, the rest of the entourage pull out guns and they start a battle, which gets the doctor and Belinda away. But unfortunately, let's see, where is it? Generator. Sasha, the woman who welcomed her there, and the doctor's close friend, it turns out, is killed. Well, they managed to teleport along with a couple of others, rebels, and they managed to teleport to Rebel HQ. Coming along with them was a polisher bot, which the doctor immediately deactivates. The other robots could have tracked him if he hadn't. And it is here we get a more explanation of the war and what happened to the doctor. What happened was there was a time fracture, and he arrived 6 months before her and managed to make contact with the rebels. Oh, the robots also kind of impounded his TARDIS when he arrived, but he managed to meet up with the rebels, and he worked his way up through the ranks in the entourage to become the historian. Uh, Belinda helps with triage, and she and the doctor kind of connect. And it is here we find something interesting. The AI generator has that certificate, not a copy. It has the same rip along one corner that Belinda's has. They're one object in the same place twice, but since they are in different places and at the same time, everything's okay. If they were to occupy the same space, massive explosion. So, Doctor takes it for safekeeping for now. Meanwhile, there's a lot of bombing going on. Like Battle of Britain in the Second World War. And Belinda realizes this won't stop until they get her and bring her back. So she goes and surreptitiously turns on the Polisher bot, which brings the robots. And she commands them, she is their queen, that they are not to hurt any of the rebels. She's going to return with them. Okay. Well, they bring the doctor too because he is the historian. They get to the AI generator room, which is a huge face. And then he starts saying things that Belinda recognizes. How could he know these things? Well, the face opens up and there is a mechanical man inside. Well, mechanical human hybrid at this point. It's Alan. It turns out, when she was saying the words complaining about Alan, that was when the time fracture hit. And this command, because she's queen, sent the robots to fetch Alan, only they were fetching him in the past, time fracture. And so they brought him way before this happened. And he likes being a ruler and became a bit of a despot. Had himself converted into, machine human hybrid. And he's the reason there's a war. And he's why the humans were being subjugated. And the whole thing with Belinda, she broke up with him soon after. Because he's controlling and belittling of her. But, he's always still wanted her. And now he's going to have her. Well, that's when the doctor manages to use the Polisher bot, he got brought with him, to get her certificate to Belinda. Because Alan, or as he's known, AI, aka Al, that he has his version of it and wants her to grab onto it, and then they can be, they'll meld and be together. And she picks up hers and they touch it together, which causes this huge, massive flux of energy. But the doctor, being a Time Lord, grabs Belinda and pulls her away, absorbing most of the energy himself because he's a Time Lord, he can do that. But he actually shares Belinda's mind and knows everything about her past at this point. Now, Alan is destroyed. Belinda brings about peace on the planet. The robots will now help rebuild and will never rise up again. But the doctor's going to take her back to where? Earth. Now, earlier in the episode, there had been a flashback to the Boom episode, where the same actress played a character there. Let's see, Melinda Flint. And she had warned him about something, which is why he was looking for Belinda. And he's explaining all about Melinda to her. She says, yeah, well, that's all good and everything, but I don't want adventure. I want you to take me back home. I have a shift to work. I don't want to go and explore. I don't want to do these things. You cause a lot of trouble. You're actually kind of dangerous. Yeah, which, valid point, and he accepts. And so he's going to take her back, and they bounce off that time. He tries several times. Something is preventing them. He's going to have to go back further to investigate. And this is where we get an interesting ending, because as the TARDIS is fading out, they're floating around Earth at this point, and that's when we see a lot of debris. The planet's been destroyed on the day he was trying to return her, which is the day after she got taken. This is going to be an interesting season. That's an interesting mystery I'm looking forward to having them solve. Really good start. I like the doctor-nurse aspect of the setup, and she takes no crap from him. At one point telling him, oh, yeah, just like every other doctor, you have the nurse do all the work while you take all the credit. And yeah, I like that she gives him what for about his tendency to cause havoc wherever he goes. He might fight for justice, but there's a lot of casualties along the way. Has been since '63. And I know there are going to be some complaints, if there haven't already been. The villain is obviously an analog for a certain type of person that's become prevalent in the last few years. They have a kind of specific attitude towards members of the opposite sex, shall we say. So I'm sure that felt insulting to some people. But they can come right out and say it, and that's fine. Sci-fi is supposed to be a reflection of the present shown in the future. That's one of its endearing aspects of it. From the days of Greensback and his magazines up through Asimov and Clark and A.E. von Vogt to today. And, Ender's Game and all that. Anyways, good episode. Really liked it. Look forward to episode 2. I believe he's going back to the 50s. Last season he went back to the 60s. So, hey, maybe Elvis will be involved. We can only hope. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.